So listen to this. If you ask the world the question, which moment did the world see Ronaldo as a best youngster, they will tell you the pre-season match versus Manchester United in 2003 when he was still in Sporting. But let me tell you that it was the final of the Euros 2004, which Portugal had lost against Greece, which put him in the international stage, and a 12th place finish in the Ballon d'Or ensured all the top clubs recognized him as a future Ballon d'Or winner. Before the Euros, Ronaldo was just a skinny rotational player in Manchester with only 4 goals in Premier League and was considered a player with just flashy skills and no end product, and he had no senior appearances in the Portugal national team. But it was all about to change when Portugal hosted the Euros for the very first time in the summer of 2004. After the disastrous World Cup in 2002, where the golden generation of Portugal, including legends like Luís Figo, Rui Costa, Deco, Ricardo Carvalho, were kicked out into the group stages, the Portuguese Federation had a task to ensure that it doesn't happen again. Went ahead and sacked their manager Antonio Oliveira and signed Luis Felipe Scolari. Yes, the same person who had led the golden generation of Brazil to World Cup glory. The federation thought that this will ensure Portugal reach their potential. But it was just a beginning of problem. The federation was constructing 10 stadiums for a 16 tournament, which made no sense to the Portugal's public, as they felt it was just a waste of their resources, as they had no hopes that their nation will ever make it out of the group stage, drawing against eternal rivals Spain, the same pool adding fuel to Portugal's misery, as they had never won against them in 23 years. And Ronaldo was not even in the squad of Portugal had Luís Figo and Ricardo in the same position as him. 17-year-old Ronaldo was not even in the under-19 European Championship. That's how less they thought of him. It was only in the Toulon tournament that Ronaldo bowled out in such a way that he was not only won the tournament but also was their best player, eventually defeating Italy in the final and ensured his name was considered for selection. The match that ensured his name was selected in the senior squad was the famous pre-season friendly against the star Sir in Manchester squad, where he put on performance so goated that Sir Alex himself had to call and sign the kid just a week later. And once he became the most expensive teenager in football history at the time, Soleri was more than happy to give him a call and had him in the squad. From a few months back, where he was not even in the under-19 team, Cristiano was now a starting player in the senior team, carrying the hope of a nation hosting its first Euro competition. Then in the preseason, it was very clear since the first match that they had stuck goal when the skinny kid kept dribbling players like it was training cones and producing moments of the magic one after the other and producing one epic performance after another, which made the team believe he's the missing piece who will bring his country silverware. Now, all of a sudden, there was a fresh breath of confidence as the hosts finally believed that their golden generation could deliver something just like Brazil, France, and Italy. So the Euros began in Portugal hosted Greece in the final match, where the Portugal were already a goal behind in the 7th minute due to a goal scored by Caragonis, and in half-time when Ronaldo came on, was so eager to make a change that he would run after the ball so desperately to make an impact for his country that he ended up giving a penalty in the 51st minute. Even though he then scored in the injury time to try and fight for a comeback, it was late, and Portugal had lost their opening match, drawing huge criticism from their supporters. Solari knew he had to make changes to his squad if he wants his team to go ahead and make it out of the group stage, so he looked at his squad as he saw that he had 3 Champion League winners, Manish, Rui Costa, so he added them to his playing 11 for the next match against Russia, and they did not let him down as they had combined to open the scoring for Portugal. In the second half, he made a fabulous assist to Rui Costa, who scored the second. Now, the only thing stopping Portugal from entering the knockout stages were eternal rival Spain. In that match at halftime, both the teams failed to open the deadlock, and Greece had miraculously defeated Russia, which meant that if both teams managed to draw, they would both qualify. But Nuno Gomes had other plans, as he had scored a screamer from the outside of the box, which was too powerful even for a legend like Casillas, and ended up in the bottom corner and ensured that Portugal topped and table and qualified for the knockouts, but it also meant that Greece also had to make it to the group that they had no time to think of. Because they had to prepare for a legendary match against the golden generation of England, with the likes of Rooney, Lampard, David Beckham, Gerrard, who were on a winning run, having won all three of their matches and were looking favourites to win the Euros. It was one golden generation against the other, and Portugal knew it was not going to be easy, which was confirmed in the third minute. Oman had already scored from a long pass from David James. England were in complete control, and then a miracle happened against the run of play when Postgia, who played himself perfectly between two England defenders, leaped the highest and slotted the ball in the net in his 92nd minute. The match then went into extra time where Rui Costa and Lampard added a goal, each for their country, to send the match into penalties. The hosts had luck on their side when David Beckham skied the ball way over the goal post, and Portugal's keeper Ricardo saved the fifth penalty from Ian Walker and scored the winning penalty to ensure they had advanced to the semis, where they were going to face the Netherlands. Portugal have never been in a final of any major tournament, with a bronze in the 1996 World Cup, their highest achievement, but that was all about to change on 30th of June 2004, where Cristiano stepped up to put the host nation in their first ever final of a major tournament. The match started on a positive note for Portugal as Cristiano opened and scoring in a 26 man by leaping higher than the Dutch defenders and sliding the ball in the middle of the net from Deco's corner, and celebrated by removing his shirt and announcing himself to the world as a future star. And if that was not enough to seal the match, Cristiano took a quick corner and passed the ball to Manish, who unleashed a rocket so quick that all Van der Sar could do was pick the ball from the net to restart the game. The match ended 2-1, and the celebration started as if they had achieved. The only thing standing between Portugal and international glory was a mediocre Greece, whose goal coming in the tournament was just to score a goal. A team which had not scored 2 goals in a single match in the tournament, they played the most anti-national football with just defending the entire 90 minutes. No one believed that Greece could even be in the finals, let alone beat Portugal and win the tournament, and in the history of Euros, the host nation had never lost the final, so there was celebration in all of Portugal. Scholarity and asked the fans to raise the flags in the forms, and suddenly there was more than 5 million flags bought and placed on the roofs of the Portuguese public, which is more than one flatball family, and the nation was celebrating it as a national festival, following the team wherever they go, from practice sessions to the hotel room. The players said that it felt that the whole nation is carrying them on their shoulders to the final. The crowd came in big numbers outside of the stadium to celebrate what was considered an easy victory, in the way everyone expected. Portuguese attacking and Greece just sparking the bus and defending with discipline. The turning point in the match came in the 56th minute when Greece scored the opener from a corner, ugly goal, and the entire match, but it was enough to crush the hosts. Ronaldo really gave his all in that match, but the football gods were not in his favour as his attempt skied over the goal in the 76th minute. He was another opportunity in the 80th minute, but luck was not again on his side as he tore the ball away over the goal. Portugal had 17 total shots, including 5 on target, but that was not enough for them to win. As the legends say, that attack wins you matches, but defense wins you championships. Greece had proven to the world that is as well. Greece were not fun to watch at all, but still got the job. Visual, you could see the sheer heartbreak on Ronaldo's face, heartbreaking for him, as this would be the last time his father would watch his match, as soon passed away due to alcohol-related liver problem. Even in those difficult times, it was he who stood in the front of his squad in the dressing room to say that this is not the end, we will wear international trophy for sure. It was a tragedy for the whole nation, who came so close to international glory, but fell short at the final hurdle. But it was nevertheless a moment when the greatest player in the history of football vowed to bring a national trophy for his nation and deliver it to 12 years later, as Portugal, under Cristiano leadership, won the 2016 Euro at France.